Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I'm looking forward to giving this talk. Please do keep me honest on the time. Apologies in advance for being a little incoherent. My wife and I are expecting our first child. And so life is a little bit more chaotic than usual right now. So I'll do my best to maintain some flow here. What I thought I would do is just give a little bit of an overview of what the folks in my lab and the geography department at San Diego State are up to. We are fortunate enough to have, I believe, two of these folks walking among you. So call them out as we go. Please, you are strongly encouraged to ask them hard questions about their research over lunch and keep them honest. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview of the relevant research that is going on right now, a little bit of a feeling for what may be coming down the pike, and I'll close on some additional thoughts about opportunities for collaboration for those who are interested, which maybe we can chat about at lunch or later in the day. Of course, want to acknowledge generous funding, very important and scarcer every day. And also lots of folks whose names I won't even try to list, many of whom are in this room, and some of whom who could not make it today. So brief overview of what I'm going to say about the current work. I will be presenting some work from one postdoc and actually recently converted to research professor, Brooke Rose, who is co-advised by Janet Franklin. They are at the landscape ecology meeting in Raleigh right now, but send their regards. I will also be presenting some research from one of my PhD students, Megan, who is in the back and would love to chat about it, as well as two current master's students, one of whom, Bruce, is also in the back, and one incoming master's student as well. So first, a little bit of a feeling for what Brooke is up to. She's very excited to be starting a new grant, of which she is the principal investigator for the first time in her life. And this will be specifically looking at flowering phenology from those shift airborne hyperspectral lines that were presented earlier. This will be focused explicitly here at Sedgwick and also at Dangermond. And that funding is just inbound now, knock on wood. We have the award letter, and it should be arriving in May. So we're cautiously optimistic that this will be getting started, which will involve some fieldwork, some modeling, and some imaging spectroscopy analysis. And then we also, Brooke is also PI of a pending proposal, which we are even more cautious about, but still optimistic because the proposal really is excellent, which is in strong collaboration with TNC, led by Scott Butterfield, who I think cannot be here today, but also lots of others. And this is all about mapping oak woodland resilience. And so for those of you who are familiar, this is actually using an approach to analysis of big stacks of Landsat imagery over many, many years that we first applied here and at Dangermond, and now scaling that up. Two other Nature Conservancy reserves across the state, and mixing it with some species distribution models driven by climate change projections. We've started this work already at 2 other reserves, and what is, well, lots of aspects are very interesting, but I am particularly interested that basically the same model is transferring very nicely with minimal changes to these other reserves. Moving on to Megan. Megan is up to lots of things, but what I will present here will be some stuff related to the lake fire. But you should know that there was mention earlier about the recent Los Angeles, the Eaton Canyon and Palisades fires. Megan is also working with colleagues at JPL on some hyperspectral analysis of those, as well as being involved with the Student Airborne Research Program, which I will speak about a little bit later, and also with UAV LiDAR, as well as lots of other measurements from the Kretz and Midland School prescribed fires that we have been speaking about all day. And so what I'll briefly present here is a joint model to predict. Thank you for teeing up the explanation of the normalized burn ratio, because that change in that is exactly what we are trying to predict here from pre-fire hyperspectral and thermal measurements. And what you are looking at on the left is the map of fire severity from that normalized ratio that was actually observed. And on the right is what the random forest model predicts. R squared about 0.5. So not spectacular, but we're a little bit pleasantly surprised that we could even do this at all. And it's quite an interesting result that is has pretty significant implications for new remote sensing approaches that are coming down the pike. Little explanation of the primary predictors there. I'll skip most of the details other than to say that that information from the full range of the spectrum, that is optical and thermal as well, were both highly meaningful and statistically significant predictors. I'll move on to one of our master's students, Michael Marks, zooming in to the other end of the spatial scale. Here, he's using pretty advanced neural networks to try to upscale LiDAR. The idea being, wouldn't it be nice if we had really, really high resolution UAV quality LiDAR everywhere in areas where we currently have pretty high resolution, much wider area LiDAR. And the hope is that bringing in high resolution imagery will get us a little bit closer. Moving on to Bruce. Here we're looking at mapping residual dry matter mass from LiDAR and field reflectance spectroscopy, with interesting results that I will skip over quickly for time. And then SAM mapping oak woodland and coastal sage scrub veg structure from that high resolution UAV LiDAR. I'll move quickly to some upcoming plans, more airborne flights from the FireSense program, an upcoming student visit from the Student Airborne Research Program in July, which everyone is encouraged to participate in if you are interested and available, including possibly another field visit from our very own Jar Roberts and maybe even Francisco Choa. Students learn about UAVs and field measurements. And I will close on opportunities, again, inviting anyone who's interested in helping out with SARP. All that UAV measurements are available for anyone who would like to use them. And then lastly, through that SARP program, I was on the plane, we collected full waveform LiDAR of a large portion of the lake fire area less than a week before the fire happened. Totally luckily. We still don't have the data processed yet, but when that is available, if anyone wants to help us work on that, that is a pretty significant opportunity there as well. I think I'm out of time, so I will close. Thank you. One question, if it's quick.
Make it a good one. When do you think it will be ready?
I've been asking him for a year.